Hey guys, I'm David Cordero and welcome back to another guitar basic series at Pass the Guitar Live. And in this tutorial, we're gonna cover the chord E minor, how to play it, how to read it, and the variety of ways that we can place our fingers on the fretboard. E minor is one of the most important chords and by far one of the easiest ones to play, but also one of the most versatile chords. But before we move on, it is important that you know what a chord diagram is and how to read one. If you don't, it's okay. Check out this video here and then come back. Well, if you know what it is and you're ready to move on, let's waste no more time and dive right in. All right, let's take a look at this diagram here. We already found something great. There are no axes, which means that we do not have to skip or avoid any strings. And that's always great news, right? We can play with no fear because we can strum all of the strings. Well, we don't find axes, but we do find a lot of circles. We have circles on strings number 1, 2, 3, and 6. And you know that means that we're gonna play those strings open. We have 2 black circles, one on the 2nd fret of the 5th string and another one on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and numbers 1 and 2 on those black circles. And that's where we're gonna place our fingers. In this case, it's suggesting that we use fingers number 1 and 2. Let's put our fingers in place and get our E minor ready. Here we go. First finger here on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and my second finger here on my 4th string, 2nd fret. And the next step, before we even try to strum all of the strings, we always pluck one string at a time to check if the chord is clean, if all of the strings are clean and ringing. So here we go, starting with the 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Wow, we almost don't have any strings ringing here. And that's a very common mistake beginners make. Even though E minor is one of the easiest chords, if you don't pay attention to some details, you're not gonna get the chord to ring well. First of all, let's check out the 6th string here. Not ringing, right? Most of the time, that's gonna be due to the fact that my index is actually placed flat on the string and it's pushing up and touching the 6th string. Look at what happens when I use the tip of my finger there. There we go, right? Now I have the 6th string ringing. So don't forget, use the tip of your fingers when you're pressing down. We still don't have, like the 5th string is buzzing a lot. And I'm actually pressing really hard. Another common mistake people make is where they place their fingers inside the fret. There's a lot of space in between the fret bars. You should always push your fingers forward, closer to the fret bar on your right. If you're right-handed, if you're left-handed, it will be the other way around, obviously. So I'm gonna push my fingers all the way forward. And now, nice, right? Now I have my 5th string ringing beautifully and clean. The 4th was one of the strings that was pretty clean already. Now we have 3rd. It's a little bit muted. 2nd one is ringing, and the 1st one is completely muted. And the reason why here is another common mistake. I'm gonna open my hand, and you're gonna notice that right here, this area of my hand is touching the bottom of the neck of the guitar. And that is something that you should avoid. And one way you do that is by bringing your thumb, don't let it go all the way up, bring your thumb down closer to the center and push the knuckles, these knuckles here, forward a little bit and keep using your tip. When you do that, I'm gonna open my hand again. Now there is room, look at that. And my fingers are really well arched, and I'm using the tip of my fingers. And now I have all of the strings clean. That's not all we want to cover with E minor here. Sure, we got E minor, it sounds great, but it's important that we cover that we can use different fingers for E minor. We are using fingers number 1 and 2, but we could also use fingers number 2 and 3. We could also use 3 and 4. And you may be asking, David, why would I use different fingers? Well, it's gonna be a matter of making the changes between E minor and other chords faster and easier. So it depends which chord you have before E minor and or which chord you have after E minor. Let's take, for example, E major as an example here. E major, we are gonna have to use fingers 2 and 3 on the 5th and the 4th string, 2nd fret, because finger number 1 needs to press on the 3rd string, 1st fret. E major. And if I have to move from E major to E minor, all I have to do here is lift my index, and I have E minor, in this case, using fingers number 2 and 3. The other way around is the same thing. If I start with E minor and I use fingers numbers 2 and 3, all I have to do to go to E major is just bring back my index on the 3rd string, 1st fret. Well, would it be wrong if I use fingers number 1 and 2 for E minor and go to E major? It's not wrong, but as you can see, I'm moving all of my fingers from E minor using fingers 1 and 2. I have to move all of them. So it might be the case that you have to do that, but if you don't, I highly recommend you consider using different fingers for E minor. Let's take another example. Let's take C major. If I am on E minor and I have to go to C major, notice that I don't have to move my 2nd finger at all. I go to C major and my 2nd finger is in the same place it has to be for both chords. So if I am moving to or from C major, I would highly recommend using fingers number 1 and 2 for E minor, because you will have 2nd finger as an anchor. You don't need to move that one. Well, that could be the case also moving from E minor to A major. We don't have any fingers that stay in place here, but notice that going from E minor, all I have to do is to move fingers number 1 and 2 down 1 string and then bring my 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And vice versa, it's just a reverse movement. Lift my 3rd finger and then bring fingers number 1 and 2 up 1 string. Cool, right? How about fingers 3 and 4? Why would I use that? Well, if you know how to play bar chords already, you know you're gonna be using fingers 3 and 4 to play some minor chords like F minor, for example, or G minor, or any minor chord with a bar using the shape of E minor or E major. And if you don't understand that, that's okay. Check out a link that I added to the description of this video. It's a lesson that we go over bar chords and the 4 shapes that you need to know along with the bar that will cover all of the major and minor chords out there. Well, so if I have to move from E minor and I'm using fingers 3 and 4 and I'm going to G minor, for example, I'm coming from here and all I'm doing is sliding these fingers all the way to the 5th fret and bringing the bar. Also, if I went from E minor to F minor, it would be even shorter the distance. These 2 fingers move 1 fret to the right, and then I bring my bar. And the other way around will be the same. F minor starts here, and then I bring these 2 fingers to the left, and I have E minor. And that's a wrap for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a lot. Don't forget to support us by subscribing, clicking on that bell, and liking this video. My name is David Cordero, and I'll see you guys on another lesson.